Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros, or should I say Parks Booze, because this is our final review of a maze from Knott's Scary Farm in 2018, at least for now until we go back for the maze known as Special Ops Infected. Yes, this is a fan favorite maze, at least in the past couple of years, because it's not a regular maze. You actually get a laser gun slash blaster to shoot zombies while you are in this maze, and it is awesome for a concept, and I actually really enjoyed it. Now, if you don't want spoilers, make sure you click away. I'm sure it'll be more interesting if you don't hear about it, but I also will not have any footage of the maze in this video. I will just be talking about it because Knott's Scary Farm does not allow video in their mazes, at least when you're not there for media day. So this maze is actually located throughout the queue of the Mystery Lodge, and you start in the pre-show room for the Mystery Lodge, and you go behind the Mystery Lodge itself. So this maze is themed to a zombie infection outbreak in Calico City, which I found interesting that they were calling it Calico City, but it is pretty much just a zombie outbreak that you have to try and stop by taking a gun and shooting the zombies. Now, only headshots are accepted, at least that's what it said in the video, because that's the only way to kill them. But when we actually went through the maze, that wasn't necessarily the only correct thing. So before you go in, you will be given a blaster, and this gun shoots like a laser or a light of some sort that will interact with these collars that light up on the scare actors' necks. If it's red, that means they are alive. You gotta shoot them. So you shoot towards the collar, and then if you hit them, it turns green and they get like stunned realistically and can't scare you, and they kind of back up a little bit. So there are a couple like pre-show type rooms where they pretty much tell you what's going on, and you have to be recruited to try and find the source of this outbreak to try and stop it and stop everyone from turning into a zombie. Now, this maze actually made you kind of run throughout it, at least a light jog, so that made it really interesting because it felt like you were straight out of Call of Duty Zombies or something like that. And I really enjoyed that fact, actually. The fact that we had to run and they were telling us to go, 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 and shoot the zombies on the run was really cool. There was this really great outdoor section that you would start with like a broken car and zombies popping out from every corner. And then you pretty much take the route all the way around until you see that section again with a U-turn and some great theming to go along with that. Then you will be stopped about halfway through for another quick intermission type thing by one of the scare actors themselves. They will tell you, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. As well as some other scare actors that are working in the maze that are pretty much acting as special operatives. So pretty much military men that are telling you what you need to do as you're going throughout and encouraging you to go, 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 run as fast as you can to try and get to the source of the outbreak. Now, if you actually shoot some of the zombies that don't even have a collar, if you shoot them anywhere, they will still act like they've been shot and they will be stunned. So if you don't want to be scared, just keep shooting at every person you can see. So that'll help you out if you don't want to be scared. But after this second pre-show type room, like intermission show, I should say, you will enter a room that is very, very colorful and almost like a 3D neon, which looks really cool. And one of the good scares in this maze actually happened there because of a wood effect where they stomp on the wood, and there's actually a speaker that blasts a giant bass sound that really kind of got me. There is also in that room a place where you have to duck under something and kind of squat and hobble through that maze, or that part of the maze, so it makes it more interesting for sure. But then soon after, you are in a subway, and this actually kind of was a little disappointing for me because the subway train cars themselves are kind of not the best looking. They definitely give a subway vibe, but when you look straight left or right, you can see that there are just drapes, like black drapes on either side of you. And it's really, really obvious. And then you can tell exactly when one of the scare actors is going to pop up because they're moving those drapes like in accordance to where they are. And then they will pop up and then you shoot them and then they go back down. And then you can see exactly where they're going to go because of these drapes. And that kind of took away a little bit of the coolness for me because you could see exactly when they're going to pop up. But then you'll end up getting to the final room, which is the sewer. And there's like a waterfall effect. that's actual water. And then there's this giant animatronic, which looks amazing, popping out of the wall, as well as there's a couple of scares that could get you in that room as well. And I think it was probably one of the best rooms of the night for sure. But it was another great finale within one of these Knott Scary Farm mazes. But then you get out and you are pretty much at the exit of the Mystery Lodge, and you take off your gun. You can see how many kills you got. I only got one. I don't know if my buddy was just taking all my shots or I'm a bad shot, but yeah. And if you actually get more kills throughout the maze, you can get certain upgrades. Like, I think if you get 5 kills, you get full auto, which is a nice touch, I think, when you get more and more things to work with. But honestly, all in all, Special Ops Infected was not a scary maze. I had one scare throughout the whole thing, but it's more of just an intense and fun maze, and it's definitely a great maze to take a newcomer to a haunt event through, because it's less scary for maybe a younger audience, and it's just more of like a cool interactive experience. It was definitely the least scary of the night, I would say, but definitely probably one of the cooler mazes for the night because of how interactive you have to be with everything in the maze, with shooting every scare actor and ducking under things and running through half of it. It really made it a cool experience. But nonetheless, it was not my favorite maze. I know in years past it might have been, but I know they've done some different things, but I still really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great maze, and I'm gonna have to rate it a 7.5 out of 10. It was really enjoyable. I just think it should have been at least maybe a little longer, or possibly had some more scares that would have popped up and really got us that we wouldn't have seen coming, which would have been a really nice touch. But the last room is definitely my favorite for the maze itself, and it's a great way to warm up for the rest of your night, or even possibly be the last maze of your night, because this will get a long line. It was pushing 90 to 100 minutes for most of the night when we went, until it was about 1 a.m. when we went in, and it was still about 35 to 40 minutes. But I hope you have enjoyed all of the reviews we've done from Scary Farm. You can check out the playlist of the 5 mazes that I ended up going through, and I really hope you have enjoyed all of them. It's been fun to actually go through mazes for the first time, because I've never done that before this past weekend, and I really enjoyed it, and I really can't wait to go back to see what they have to offer in a couple weeks time, as well as next year. But thank you guys for watching. It means a heck of a lot, and I hope you enjoyed. But of course, as always, we'll see you on the next fright.